in action.
Hi, welcome to another episode of The Grant Adventures. I keep forgetting what my new username for YouTube is. I'm here with Airplane 312. It's
Hey everyone.
Wednesday. It's Tuesday.
It was Tuesday, April 29th, approximately 6 p.m.
Yeah, and we're doing a video on. I came back to Holiday the third time now, and if I don't get back there in a week, it'll end up being the fourth time. I'll have to go through a thing to work for Quality, because I'm about a week shy of my 60 days. You can go up to 60 days without running for them, but then insurance lapses, and I'm about a week short of that. And we worked Spark this week to pay for the bus ticket to go over.
Alright, just a second. We need to do something real quick. We'll be right back for a second. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I came over here. The whole reason for that was to pick up my gun, like you saw in the other videos. And on the way over here, hitchhiking, if I want to go into a little bit of a hitchhiking story, the old man's trick about hitchhiking is if somebody won't pick you up, you play dead on the side of the road, and I've told this before in my videos. This last time around that I played dead in Montana, I couldn't believe the outcome of that. Somebody must have called me in, like dancing around on the lanes of the interstate on I-90, 94 interchange. And because of what they said on the phone, when I woke up from being, quote unquote, passed out to get the cops to give me a ride, basically. Just pause it. Let's pause it a second there. We gotta take care of shaky legs. I'm gonna have to do an edit on that one. I lost my concentration.
Okay, resume. Sorry about that. That's who it was. A dog.
You should show them the reason why.
Alright, just a second again. Okay. The reason why it says sorry about crossing legs. Alright.
Anyway.
Alright, back. Sorry about that. So that's your news report by a dog.
Yeah. Anyway, the story goes, the old man trick is to lay down not on the freeway itself, but in the ditch. And that way the people who didn't stop or won't stop for you necessarily after you've been there trying to hitchhike for a while, they'll definitely call you in, because they will do that. They're part and help you there.
Oh, God.
Oh, great. Here we go. No. So we're door dashing too, and that was a bad door dash. That was $3.35 for 4 miles or something each way. That's just dumb.
Nope.
But anyway, so I'm laying in the ditch. I'm pretending to pass out so I can get the ride. I'm just trying to get 7 miles down the road to the truck stop, so I can stay at the truck stop overnight. And I supposedly wake up to a whole line of cop cars. I must have counted like 8 cop cars. So there was 3 sheriff's deputies, 3 local city cops, and 2 or 3 of the highway patrol. And the highway patrol was shutting it down the eastbound lane of the interstate.
And it's a total of 9.
Because they figured it was a fatality. They got the call in that it was a fatality. And of course they don't want people to see that nasty stuff.
And 2 ambulances.
Yeah, so I woke up to basically a whole parade, 2 fire truck and an ambulance and all.
You might want to shut the DoorDash off.
I guess. Another $3 decline, so DoorDash isn't even worth it today.
And this explains why from the previous videos that we made, virtually the first video posted today, which is the 29th and stuff. If you see that video, please go back. I'll post a link to the video once this goes up, if I remember, so you guys understand what we talked about, DoorDash and Spark and all that.
Yeah, so then I had a friend of mine get me up here, and then I've been up here for like a week. And I'm going to be going back to Quality before my transport job insurance runs up. As is, I got to pay, or Quality is going to take out $55 for each month that I missed, the month of April and March, or no, April and May. Insurance at $55 each month that I have to pay whether I work or not. And then I have to pay a $20 storage fee for the truck I'm active on right now for a week until I get there on Friday for that yard to store the truck. But then I will take a truck that only pays $300 for 300 miles to get from Janesville, Wisconsin to Fremont, Michigan, which is 150 miles north of Goshen, Indiana, where the main yard is. And that's pretty much the only reason I'm taking that truck is because it's going the same direction I am. By the time I pay for the public transportation to and from the truck, it'll pretty much wash that, what I made from that truck out. But it helps me get through Chicago. And going the same direction I am, I might as well do quality a favor, basically, and take a shorter run. In exchange, they'll give me a longer run out of Goshen, where that's the hole. So I'm going to take a longer run out of Goshen. My preference would be down to Texas, and then take a bunch of Texas to California trucks, and fly back and forth between Texas and California, and taking trucks over there to California 3 or 4 times, and those trucks are 1,300 miles a shot, and they'll pay me about $800 after the public transportation and airplane back. And I'd save up money and come back up here in a month. But that's the goal.
And you kind of hear before that you say you'll never go back to quality.
Well, as a general rule, whether I quit a job or get fired from a job, I just, have decided that, I'm just never going to go back to whatever employment. Well, this actually ends up being the 3rd time coming back to quality. Through various different reasons. I applied to other companies and they wouldn't bring me on as fast on one time. When they're busy, they're good. They're a good company to work for. I have nothing bad to say about quality when they're busy. They just have their slow times and their busy times. That's somewhat uncontrollable in that industry. But I like working for them when they're busy. However, I would suggest anyone who runs for them to also be signed in with another company, because there's only certain markets that quality's busy in.
And nothing wrong with Worldwide Drive-Away company as well.
Yeah, the only thing, the Worldwide will definitely keep you busy all the time. The only thing I didn't like about that was I was continuously driving, and my driving foot doesn't like driving 600 miles a day, every day, day in, day out, between the rental cars and the trucks. But if you don't mind driving at all, you don't have that problem like I do on the driver foot, Worldwide is definitely a good money-making company to work for. But I kind of prefer quality because I can get a week with a truck with a decent amount of money, and then I can spend 2 or 3 days, 4 days getting back on a train. Or I can fly back on a plane if I want to make it faster and go for a truck again. But like that Texas run takes 2 or 3 days to get back on the train. And that's kind of considered my downtime, so to speak, so I don't have to drive every day. And I'm still getting paid a reasonable amount. I mean, if I take a truck for 2 days and I made $800 for the week, that's more than a lot of people make in their whole week worth of working. So I can afford the 4 days, 3 or 4 days on the train back, and staying at airports on the other end or whatever. So sometimes I do that. I take a truck for 2 or 3 days, and I take a train for 2 or 3 days back. And I just like that better because then my foot is not continuously driving, and I'm still making decent money for what I need to make.
And there's a way sometimes for Worldwide Driveway, you could tell them, say, hey, I need at least 2 days off.
Yeah.
And they can...
Well, any of them, you're independent contractors, so you can tell them how many days you need off, and you can tell them kind of the direction of travel you want to go into. So I like that part of it. There's nobody that's really your boss except for your money. But this will be the exception to the rule, going back to quality a 3rd time, and this, if they did deactivate me, if they did deactivate me, it would be the 4th time re-signing up with them. Because I'm within a week of being deactivated, because I haven't taken anything for a month or 2. Don't want to get into politics, but it's partially due to Trump's tariffs. Why Mexico quit sending trucks over the border, and I lost out on a lot of Texas freight that they're starting up again on now. But partially that's why the month of March died off.
And a lot of people say, oh, the tariffs are not affecting me, but look at Travis that's transporting. Do you think it really now affects the economy and stuff?
Yeah.
You really don't think on the back end, just like for a can of Pepsi, virtually, we're going to get something that's close by.
Well, anything in general, especially
like this.
Automobile imports.
Just like that.
Yeah.
That affects everyone.
Yep, and unfortunately it's affecting our economy now too, but they're bouncing back from it. This week they had 25 trucks or something out of Texas to say. So, and I was hoping that the Springfield, Ohio plant, since it's in the USA and there isn't no tariffs involved there, I was hoping they would spruce up their business and go, because they got some nice luxurious pickup rides take. I like driving that equipment. I don't really like dealing with the Springfield, Ohio plant first day getting there, but I like getting the equipment out of there. I was hoping they would, ramp up their business, but that factory didn't so far. Instead, Mexico worked out a plan, and now they have 25 trucks a week coming out of Mexico again, which is kind of more than they had to begin with way back in January. But there for January, part of February, and all of March, it kind of died off.
And we don't know until another probably 60 days or so when the tariffs come back on.
Yeah, no one knows exactly for sure how it's going to work out. So that's why I have and haven't been in a big hurry to get back to working for Quality, but I got other things I'd like to buy this summer, so I'm going to, now that the weather's better, I'm going to try to run some of the RV runs north. See how it goes. I would prefer Texas to California, but that might be 110 degrees down there that time of year. I don't know.
And we're getting close to about 12 minutes now.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the video. I'm possibly coming back to Quality a fourth time, depending on how this week goes, if I can get there in time to save it or not. And if not, technically I've been rehired a fourth time.
Which is going to be a lot easier for him because he got the place, so he doesn't have to mail us back.
Yeah, mostly all it would require was they'd have to run a background check again, so I'd be stuck somewhere for a week, and they'd have to have me do a road test. They're at Goshen, where you drive an RV around and they check you off that you know how to drive it and watch in your mirrors and stuff.
Or they might just bypass him and say, okay, just go on and...
And yeah, I'm close enough that they might just bypass most everything they can do on it. But we're not sure yet. It all depends on the bus ticket, whether I can get there by Friday or not. And if I can, I will try my best to do content on the video for the bus going to and from. To make videos on that. On the bus trip over there. But anyway, like and subscribe, leave comments. I'll catch you on the next video.
Peace out.
Peace.